AITA for missing my grandchild's birth to attend my other daughter's wedding? I am the mother to two wonderful daughters, Sophia, 32 and Nichole, 26, and I'm really not sure if I was cruel towards Sophia for my decision or not. Nichole got married this year, and Sophia had her first child, which is my first grandchild. I've had a good relationship with both my daughters, and I've always tried to make sure neither of them felt like I favored the other, but I admit there were some rough patches with Sophia. When Nichole got engaged, she asked if I would walk her down the aisle, since her father has never been in her life. I asked her what about her uncles or brother, and she said no, she wanted me. I was more than happy to agree and helped her plan her wedding. My daughter Sophia announced her pregnancy around the beginning of the year. The timing panned out that she would be due after Nichole's wedding, so she asked if I would be in the delivery room with her and stay with her and her husband for a few weeks after the baby was born to help out. I was very excited too, and since we already live in the same town and see each other almost daily, staying with her wouldn't have been a problem at all. Instead, Sophia went into labor almost 3 weeks early, the afternoon before Nichole's wedding. I missed Sophia's first call because I was already almost 2.5 hours away where Nichole lives and helping set things up and doing last-minute errands to help. When I called her back, I found out she was in labor and she wanted me to get there as soon as possible. I told Sophia I would do the best I could and would let her know immediately when I'd be there. I explained the situation to Nichole, who understandably also wanted me to be there for her, but understood that Sophia wanted me with her too. Nichole was able to move her ceremony to the morning and make it a quick 25-ish minute ceremony, and there would just be a few hours gap between the ceremony and reception. I thought this was a good compromise that would let me be there for both of my girls. I called Sophia and she wanted me to get there that night. I asked if her husband was with her and she said yes, so I asked her to please consider him as a second choice until I could get there. Sophia got upset and told me to forget about it. I got to the hospital early the next afternoon and missed a birth by a couple of hours. Sophia was so mad she didn't want me to come in when she was moved to a room. I thought that was understandable and she would talk to me soon, but it's been a couple of weeks now and I have tried to apologize to her. I've talked to my son-in-law and he said they're both mad that I chose to ditch Sophia when she needed me most for a party. So I am here asking an outsider's perspective if I was wrong to not go to the hospital right away. AITA. Edit. I did not stay for Nichole's reception. I left immediately following the ceremony. She still had to wait a few hours from the end of her wedding ceremony in the morning until her reception that afternoon. It could not be pushed back later in the day due to the reception venue having an event in the evening. NTA, and I'm really surprised by the responses here. A wedding is not just a party. It's a once-in-a-lifetime event and almost by definition has parents there to celebrate unless there's an exceptionally strained relationship. Childbirth is a medical procedure that usually only has 1 to 2 support people and in many families happens 2 to 3 or more times. It's nice, but not common or even expected, to have grandma there. And it's not like you plan to attend one over the other. The baby came 3 weeks early. Your other daughter rescheduled her wedding in hopes of you making both work out. How anyone could assume you intended to prioritize one kid over another, or that people weren't accommodating enough considering what was done here just baffles my mind. Agree. Also info op. Was Sophia not invited coming to the wedding? Weird she wasn't already at the wedding also. NTA. It wasn't a party. It was her sister's wedding where you, her mother, were walking her down the aisle. It sounds like she was wanting your complete attention to the detriment and disappointment of her sister and potential of ruining the wedding. I'm wondering if this has been a pattern between the two and they have often fought for your individuated attention. I could see it being more of an issue if she was having serious life-threatening complications and/or if her husband couldn't be there but she was not alone. But you made a compromise as best able to help both your daughters at important parts of their lives. Plus, it sounds like Op left for the hospital after the ceremony, before the reception, which is the actual party part of the wedding. She literally bailed on the party to try and be there for Sophie after completing her wedding obligation to Nichole. Op, NTA. What a terribly awful position to be in. You didn't go to a party, you walked your daughter down the aisle for her wedding. You are NTA. I hope for your sake that Sophia grows up enough to realize a few things, especially the fact that she is acting poorly and could damage her relationship with you. AITA for walking out of my baby shower after Mill denied me food. Before I start, I'd like to say that I'm a bit of a big girl. No shame in that. I love myself just the way I am, and I have been living by the motto "be you, everybody else is taken." Mill, DH's mom, always made comments about my weight. Ever since I got pregnant, she started making more comments while low-key shaming me for what I eat. Whenever I visit, she'd give me smaller plate, portion, cup, even spoons. She also buys me small size clothes, even though I'm in my second trimester, and those clothes don't fit. My sil decided to throw me a baby shower after my DH denied when my sister offered to throw me one. The whole side of my in-laws are invited. Mom refused to come after what DH said to my sister, another story for later. I got there and Mill was in charge of serving food to the guests. All that was served was cakes and juice. I got hungry from talking and I got up to eat some cake. The second I put my hand on the cake, Mill grabbed my arm and said that I'd gained enough weight already and that if I keep this up her son will not be happy living with a large walrus. I was shocked. I didn't know how to react, especially since she said this out loud. She looked at me in a sorry not sorry kind of way. I put the cake down and grabbed my stuff and started walking. Her daughter stopped me saying I can't leave mid-party and embarrass her like that. I told her to tell her mom to leave if she wanted me to stay, but she went off and said, "Are you crazy? She's my mom. You want me to kick her out in front of everybody?" I turned around and kept walking. I called mom to come pick me up and went home. DH came home looking furious. He asked me to explain what I did at the baby shower and why. I mentioned what his mom did, and he started ranting about how I fucked this up over something so minor. I told him it wasn't minor in my opinion, since she literally cut me off food and didn't let me eat when I was hungry. He said that his mom meant well and that I needed to get rid of this easily offended mindset immediately before I pass it down to our son. He said that cakes are essential foods and that this was not a good enough reason to walk out the baby shower that his mom and sister put a ton of money, time and effort into. He said that I had hours to call and fix things up, but I refused. I went to stay with my mom because he wouldn't stop pressuring me to call and apologize for what happened. He kept talking about how pissed and let down his mom and sister feel and called me ungrateful and spiteful for doing what I did. Am I overreacting here? More info. Lot of you asked what my DH said to my sister and what was the argument about. The answer is, my sister is infertile. Has been for years. DH claimed that she's become obsessed with the baby simply just because she bought me stuff for the baby as gifts and wanted to throw me a baby shower. My sister is a great person and I have no doubt that she only did all that just because of how great she will be as an aunt. My DH kept insisting there was something wrong with her, which led to a fight between them, and he ended up calling her possessive b-and. My mom kicked him out and my sister cut contact with him. The issue got worse with my Bill, her husband, arguing with DH as well. NTA, so your own sisters wasn't allowed to throw you a baby shower, which then caused your mom not to attend. Instead, your husband allowed his sister to throw one, where your Mill bullied you. Is his family trying to control you, isolate you from your family, or is this a once-off? Op needs to be careful, because that's exactly how it sounds. Please take caution, Op. Your situation with these people sounds extremely toxic and dangerous. Don't let your DH manipulate you into isolation from your family, because that's exactly what he's attempting to do. This is not a man you want to raise a child with. NTA. Any man that would allow his mother to verbally abuse and deny his wife food and then gaslight and berate his wife for standing up for herself is a massively abusive asshole. This is divorce territory now. Stay somewhere safe. Better yet, make him leave the house while divorce proceedings happen. All the best with the baby. My sil decided to throw me a baby shower after my DH denied when my sister offered to throw me one. The whole side of my in-laws are invited. Mom refused to come after what DH said to my sister, another story for later. I feel there is more to the story, and I wonder why Op was okay that her husband put stop on baby shower her sister wanted to make. Info. Op, did your sister did something that offended you or your husband? Why you are okay with him not allowing your sister baby shower party? NTA for leaving your baby shower. Your mill is out of her mind if she thinks refusing pregnant woman food is okay. And your husband too. He needs to be on your side of this, for God's sake you are carrying his baby. If you can't get him on board, then you need to rethink this marriage, because he'll never be on your side if he continues to behave like mommy's little boy. Good luck. Edit. I read edit output, husband gets extra red flags. Op, you need think hard. What is your next move? Your husband and in-law is trying to take control over your life.